And welcome. Our top focus at this hour, China's President Xi Jinping is in Moscow for a high-profile meeting with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. The two leaders held informal talks for nearly 4.5 hours yesterday and will resume the talks today. During the meeting, the Chinese president said that Beijing and Moscow share similar goals and further underlined China's willingness to play a role in finding a political solution to Russia's war in Ukraine. The Chinese president also hailed his country's close ties with Russia and said that China and Russia are partners in comprehensive strategic cooperation.
感谢总统先生这个盛情的邀请我今天来进行这种1对1的，我们说非正式的朋友之间的这种交谈，我非常愿意和你就两国关系和我们共同关心的各方面的问题深入的交换意见。
Putin further said that he had carefully studied China's proposal to end the war in Ukraine and said that he will discuss Xi Jinping's 12-point peace plan.
Господин председатель, дорогой друг, добро пожаловать в Россию, в Москву. Рад возможности уже лично поздравить вас с переизбранием на пост главы китайского государства. Это стало возможным благодаря тому, что китайский народ и его представители по достоинству оценили вашу работу за предыдущие десятилетия.
The Chinese leader's visit comes amid concerns that China may be preparing to provide lethal weapons to Russia for its war in Ukraine, which China has denied. It also comes days after Putin was accused of war crimes, including orchestrating the forced removal of Ukrainian children to Russian territories. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that the world should not be fooled by any tactical move by Russia that has been supported by China to freeze the war in Ukraine. Blinken further said that Xi's visit to Moscow shows China's intent to provide diplomatic cover for Russia's atrocities in Ukraine.
Calling for a ceasefire that does not include the removal of Russian forces from Ukrainian territory would effectively be supporting the ratification of Russian conquest. It would recognize Russia's attempts to seize a sovereign neighbor's territory by force.
Both the Chinese and the Russian leader, however, have described Xi's trip as a part of an effort to further deepen their no-limits friendship. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report from New York.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken raised skepticism regarding China's peace plan in Moscow, warning that it could be a quote-unquote stalling tactic to help Russia on the ground in Ukraine. Blinken told reporters the world should not be fooled by any tactical move by Russia supported by China or any other country to freeze the war on its own terms. Antony Blinken made similar comments last month here in New York at the United Nations after 141 countries voted in favor of a non-binding UN-GA vote to stop the war in Ukraine. The concern at that time by the United States and other countries was that should a China-brokered ceasefire occur, then the front lines of the war would freeze, giving Russia swaths of Ukrainian land. It's not yet clear whether or not Ukraine will decide to welcome or reject China's so-called peace plan. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.